I am not an Idol fan, is what I said before watching Love Live. It was one of the best anime I've ever seen. And in this video, I'll tell you why I've come to love Love Live. I went into Love Live thinking that the appeal for idol shows were just that the girls are cute and they do cute things. I've believed that for a few years now, and by this point, it wasn't until I actually sat down and watched one that I realized that there was a lot more to it than just cute girls doing cute things. Love Live for sure is a cute show. The girls are very cute, most of them at least. Even with that being said, that's not what I really want to focus on. I want to focus on how much emotional connection I've had to all of the characters and to the show itself. I've probably cried more during the show than most of the key novels I've done, and that should be a testament in and of itself. The best thing about the show, by far, are its characters. Without them, the show would fall apart. The writer for these girls was amazing. Their understanding of how girls work, how their relationships function, and how they can be realistically written is on another level than a lot of writers in the anime space. A lot of writers focus on having these archetypes to fill, quotas, and these things to do. While with Love Live, it feels a lot more realistic in the way they were written. The first girl I want to talk about is Ellie. Ellie, to me, is the strongest girl in the whole show. She was really solid, and I love seeing her transition from the hard-cold student president persona that she felt like she needed to wear into almost a mother-like figure for the other members and a really strong support while enjoying her time and letting go bit by bit as the show went on. Her arc and her progression through it was amazing. Having this person that was staunchly against him, almost as an antagonist for the first half of the first season, turn into a really supportive, almost the guiding force behind like a lot of the girls. It was really nice to see that. I was super invested in Ellie and her emotions. Whenever she's happy, I was having a great time. Whenever she was crying and sad, that's when I would be sad and crying. Like, there's a 20-second clip, or I swear it felt that short, but it just hit me like a brick. It was crazy. I've never been able to feel like an emotion that strong that quickly. It's insane to me how well it was stacked up. The music was just right to have that emotional weight behind it. It was visually very strong and emotionally even stronger. It's fantastic. Whenever I cry, it's an instant trigger in my brain and breaks me every single time without fail. I could honestly talk about it for a lot longer, and I'm gonna force myself to stop here and just say she's clearly the best, in my humble opinion. It's not really that humble, but I love her. Absolutely adore her. The next girl I want to talk about is Kotori. She was my second best in the show because of just how selfless she was. She really put her own happiness and her own motives aside for a majority of the show, and just extremely hardworking for everyone. Seeing that is just really heartwarming, honestly. I just wanted to take a break every once in a while, honestly. She deserves it. And much like with Ellie, when she's really sad, and it's very, very rare in the show, I think two or three times, she's like really upset, and it gets me every time. Just with Ellie, it's the exact same thing. Because with Kotori, when she gets really upset, there's a very clear understanding that it's something really important to her, because she doesn't get upset a lot. She's super positive. She's super upbeat. So when something actually gets to her, it's really powerful. And you know it's really powerful because the way the show's written. Because of her character, the way she acts, the way she carries herself, the way she interacts with everyone. When that gets shaken up, it's massive and it's extremely well done. The end of the first season, perfect example of that. I was going insane. I was freaking out during the last 3 episodes or whatever, when with the Kotori stuff. I was losing my mind. I was just getting I was seeing red. I just wanted her to be happy. And oof, that was brutal. But much like Ellie, I could keep going on about Kotori endlessly, honestly. I could easily fill an hour with both Kotori and Ellie an hour each. I'm going to talk about the rest, though. The next girl I want to talk about is Nozomi. For a majority of the show, she was in the middle of the pack for me. She didn't really stand out that much. She had a couple of fun interaction scenes, stuff like that with Ellie. I like her teasing stuff. She also was like a mom type character, but a little more mischievous. She's the type that'll let you go out at night and fuck around, but you have to come back by midnight or whatever. Ish. But after the second half, and once we started getting into the second season, she really started to come into her own, and I really like that. Her solo episode, super well done. I felt really connected with her. The way she really cared about everyone, and how she wanted everyone to be together. She wanted everyone to stay together and have real moments so they could remember it and always be a thing. I think that was really lovely, really sweet. And we saw a different side of Nozomi during that little part. And it was really, really nice to see. Loved to see it. I would have liked to have a couple more episodes, honestly, for her. I felt like it was a little too late by then to like really, really enjoy her a lot. I would have liked to have, if not one, maybe 2 episodes in the first half, or in the first season for her. Even if it is like split half and half with Ellie, I think that would have been really, really strong. Maybe cut into a couple other girls' times, I'll get to that. And kind of just bump her out a little bit more. I would have liked to see that. She moved up my ranking list super fast just because of the way she carried herself at those final parts. For me, Maki started off really strong and kind of petered off at the very end because she didn't have as much screen time as she did in the first season. I would have liked Maki to have a little bit more time in the second season, even if it's just something else, just so we can see her interact with more people. She split a lot of the screen time in the second season with Hanayo and Rin, an insane amount of time. And I felt like that was really, I don't want to say wasted potential, but for me it kind of costed Maki a little bit, as someone else like Nozomi was on the ascendant in the second half and was able to finish a little bit past her. So that's just my one little gripe about Maki's part. I really liked her though. The girl playing the piano, it was really, really well done, and how to like kind of fold her into it. And her doing the whole quote unquote mysterious music drop. That was nice. I like to see that. She was really cute. She had her nice moments. There weren't many sad moments with Maki, really. Or at least none that really stood out to me. I wouldn't have minded seeing a little bit more of that. I'm a masochist, so obviously I'm gonna like more pain. But all of us love more pain. Umi was pretty good. She was really consistent throughout the entire anime. This moral guard, this spine for the second years. And similar to Maki, I felt like she could have had a little bit more individual scenes and maybe some more sad parts just by herself. A lot of her time is spent just with the third years because she's kind of like a nice reflector to Honoka. And with that comes the whole issue that she can't really stand on her own in a lot of scenes because they want to use her with the other second years. I would have liked to have her a little bit more individual times, maybe some individual episodes similar to other girls that got them, or at least more that are like stood out to me. At least she might have had individual episodes, I just don't remember them, and that's kind of the problem. I would have liked to have more of an insight into her, kind of like Kotori's that we had with the whole maid stuff. I would have liked something similar to that with Umi. Honoka was really hard to watch sometimes. I'm gonna be completely honest here. For the first season, she was so focused, so one-minded. And that's really hard for me to like, especially when it comes at the expense of others, especially in the team and those around her that are her friends. I get why she needed it to be like that for the show for the band. Without someone like that, you're not really gonna go anywhere with the band. If you're not having someone that's really driving the team, no one's gonna drive, and we're just gonna veer off the side of the road, crash in a ditch somewhere. So even though Honoka is needed to be that kind of character, it was really, really painful to watch as she drove people away at the same time. She acknowledged that, and I'm glad she changed. It shows a dynamic character, and that's good. But, even at the end, she's still a little bit like that, but she shows a little more care about, especially for the third years. She starts thinking a little bit more ahead. She thinks about her words more. She can read the room better, and that's really, it's subtle, but it's good. It's a very good subtle. Good character arc, good progression. Character-wise, love what they did. I'm just not a big Honoka fan, because I still get a little salty in the first season, okay? Nothing personal. Nico's hard to rank for me personally. She's a super meme character. Super meme. And I waffle on a lot of things with her. If I had to pick something that I really liked about her, it would be the fact that her character is so radically different than what I'd have assumed she'd be like. Whenever anyone sees Nico, you'd think, oh, she's just that bubbly person, but really she's just an absolute demon gremlin. Oh my god. Where did that come from? I wasn't expecting that at all. It was insane. So out of left field. But I liked it. I liked her interactions with Maki, especially when she just told her to shut up, basically. I like that. It was fun. I also like the idea of Nico being put in her place a lot. It makes me happy when someone like that gets told off a little bit. But her being this big sister, it was also surprising as well. She doesn't seem like the real big sister type, but she's a pretty good big sister. I like that part. Hanayo's just not a character for me. I'm just gonna lay it all out there. I just don't like quiet meat girls. If I can't hear you talking multiple times, I felt like the music drowned her out. We got an issue for me. There's nothing really else to it. I can get why she's popular, but short hair plus a bad personality for my tastes, it's just a combo for not really being interested in her, which is a shame because she had, in my eyes, a lot of screen time compared to someone like Nozomi, Umi, or Maki, who desperately needed more. At least Maki in the second season, that is. Because, I'm sorry, I just don't need as many Hanayo episodes as we got. Felt like that was a big, big miss on who we should focus on for me. For my last character, Ren, I'm going to preface this by saying, tomboys for me, I love. There's a lot of characters that are very tomboyish that I find very attractive. I like their character, I like their story. Ren's not that type for me. I feel like when they want to go down the path of, I'm not girly enough, I'm not cute enough, and all of these things, I feel like there needs to be something more than just, I have short hair, or I didn't typically wear girly clothes. I feel like that's really weak, and it kind of undermines a lot of issues that some of the girls that are these tomboys face. Because typically, at least when I see it, tomboys, they have the issues of, there's physical things wrong with them, and quote unquote wrong. It's not actually wrong. Just saying that, quote unquote wrong, that they can't really change. They're really tall. They have a deep voice. They have large hands. They're bigger. So they aren't perceived as girls in that way. They're more rough around guys, stuff like that. It's stuff they can't really change. But when some of Ren's character, you could just grow your hair out. I mean, we go through a whole school year and you can't grow your hair out a little bit? I mean, why not? I feel like something as simple as that is just, it ruins the emotional impact for me. I just don't really care as much. Because I feel like there's so many harder ways that people have to go through to look more feminine presenting or whatever. And just hair is just so on the bottom of that rung that I just can't take it seriously. And that's like the biggest issue for me. I feel like she could there's quick, easy fixes to change that, and we just didn't address those. Now, if she was already trying those things, that's completely different. I will 100% back someone who's really putting an effort in, and then I'll really resonate with that. 100% all the way. She was wearing makeup, always wearing skirts, dresses, trying to grow her hair out, stuff like that. I'd be full on behind her, but that just wasn't her character. So, shrug. Sorry. Sucks. In the same vein of characters, I want to talk about their bonds and relationships. Those are extremely important in anime. If they feel fake, it will just ruin relationships and friendships and stuff like that, at least in my eyes. Here, that's not an issue at all. Super well done. Ellie and Nozomi, it's portrayed great. Them knowing each other, being able to look at each other, automatically assume what the other's thinking, and having like this next conversation that's tangentially related, but getting to the same point. It's great when it does that. When someone just mentions something, talks about something, in a little more of a different tone than they usually, and they can immediately see what's going on, it's great. It's what real friendship does in real life. And when you can mirror real life into anime, especially with people, it just turns it up on 8 notches for me. The second years are another great example of a friendship where you can have ribbing each other, a little bit of negging, stuff like that, but still know where the line is. In a lot of anime, it doesn't feel like they know where the line is necessarily, and they feel like they cross it a lot, and they never put it onto the other side and be like, oh, well, this is how I care about the other person. It sometimes feels really one-sided and really just shitting on someone. And it's like, no, we're still friends, though. I feel like that can be really weak a lot of times. And it just really shows the skill level that the writer had for this. I don't know if it was the producer or writer that came up with these relationships, these dynamics. Whoever it was did an amazing job. Gold star. The next thing with most idol anime that should be good is the music. I'm not really an idol music fan from what I knew before going into this, so I wasn't really expecting too much, honestly. However, I really like their music. Almost all of their songs were super, super good. Loved Start Dash. When they were singing in that auditorium, it felt so big to me. There was a flood of emotions that went through me of, I feel terrible, but I'm glad they're doing it, but this is just painful. It's like someone's ripping skin off of me and forcing me to watch it as it happens. It gives me chills and gets me misty-eyed just thinking about that stuff. And when they redo it again, it is a complete reversal of emotions for it. It feels so validating when they sing Start Dash again. Love it. Just great song. Their first group of 9 song, Kimi no Life. I'm not really gonna worry about the Japanese stuff. I'm just gonna get the best I can. It felt super uplifting and airy, and it was amazing choreography. When they all start dancing together and move in sync, that's just something that really does it for me. I don't know, even in other songs when they synchronize all the movements, it looks so good. I love it. I love synchronized dancing. But it just felt so satisfying after having a really emotional confrontation and getting the last members. Having that song then come up just super soon after felt amazing and very rewarding. Other notable songs that really stood out to me include No Brand Girls, Snow Halation, Dancing Stars on Me, the acoustic version of Aishiteru Banzai. Ooh, that hit something else. That was insane. I was, if they had done more of that, I was going to start bawling like crazy. When it pans to the third years, every time. I can't rewatch it. I just cry. I'm going to cry while putting this video together. It's going to be miserable. But also really great. And one very special shout out to Kira Kira Sensation. Not for the song, since I was pretty meh on it. I'm going to be completely honest there. I felt like it was a really weak closing song. And I thought it was like, this is what we're gonna end the love life with? Really? Ugh. But then the encore came. Oh, I was put into another universe. The first OP callback. Oh, that is how it's done. It was amazing. It was fantastic. It was every superlative you could imagine. Oh, it blew my mind. Super well done. It was great. I loved it. I'm so happy. I was really happy when that happened. I was crying too. That will forever be something that can make me ultra emotional. Just the encore chant, gone. Every time. The second it starts, the tears start flowing. Both of the OPs were fantastic. I really liked the first ending. I wasn't too into the second one. I'm going to be completely honest. What I did like what they do with the endings, though, is when the episode focuses on a girl, she gets the solo for it. I thought that was really well done. I guess we have to talk about the bad parts of this anime, but thank God it's going to be probably the smallest segment in this. I can shoot through these so fast. So the first thing I want to talk about, it would be that some of the stuff didn't really aid the story that much. Ren and Hanayo stuff in particular, it felt like kind of grinded to a halt in a lot of stuff. And this could be biased for me not really liking them too much. I just felt like, man, we're really fucking slogging through these parts right here. I felt like that kind of detracted from it. I would have rather them have like a half a episode maybe, and then we get back to the main plot of the story and keep pushing forward. The season 2 last scene could have absolutely knocked a home run. I was on the edge. I was losing it. They're at the stop sign or the street light. I'm feeling it. Their emotions running through my veins, and it gets fucking ruined by Hanayo. Oh, I was incensed. That was infuriating. I was so angry. That was probably the most angry I'd been in the entire show. I was just, it felt so selfish. It felt so stolen. There was a scene right there. The emotions was right there. They were about to walk out. They were leaving. There's no music. It's just silent walking. Something super, super reflective like that. We just came off of the rooftop scene. It was with Honoka seeing and hearing everything. They'd given it their all this stuff. It's building. This emotion. I can feel it. It's pumping up. I can feel the balloon filling up. It's about to pop. And then it just was stolen like that. Oh, I was tilted. That was for the third years. That was for Muse. And they really deserved to pull out all of the emotions that stored up through the last few episodes, the last few scenes. Feel like it should have been pulled out there, and it wasn't. I know it gets resolved in the movie, and we know what it is. And we have a different, pretty satisfying end in the movie, but I would have really liked it to the second season to have ended there, but then we still have the movie later on that picks up afterwards. We can just have like a scene that like starts right at the very end of that. I would have liked it to have like that clean cut off, no cliffhanger type thing. Would have been great. I love gut punches like that. It was ripped away from me. I'm a masochist. I want to feel that pain. I want that suffering. Outside of that, really, everything else was fine. Wrapping up this review, video, letter, whatever you want to call it, I'll just say it's a real tragedy that a lot of people will refuse to watch anime just because it gets the label and stigma, cute girls doing cute things, blah blah blah, no good story, who cares? I think there's a real disservice, at least in the current climate of talking about anime, to refer to something as it's just cute girls doing cute things. I think it just reinforces a negative stereotype that a lot of, at least in my opinion, guys are too cool to enjoy something, too cool to kind of shrug off this dumb notion that you can't enjoy a show that's focused on girls and just the relationships between each other. There's no reason not to like it. And I feel like a lot of people have wrong reasons for not liking Love Live or not wanting to watch it, especially the people that don't even give it a shot. I have so little respect for people that just write off really good anime just because of their own personal hang-ups of something they perceive it to be like. Now, if you watch it and just don't like it, that's completely different. But when you completely just write something off because it's, you know, something you quote-unquote might not like, it's so weak. We don't let people have that excuse when it comes to literally anything else. But when it comes to idol anime, we're okay with just saying, who cares about the plot? Don't worry about that. It's just cute girls doing cute things. Come on. We never write off anything else like that. Because I know for a fact, anime fans, weebs, get ultra triggered when someone says, oh, it's anime. I don't want to watch that. It's full of girls getting raped by tentacles. It's full of 10-year-old girls. They get super fucking mad about that. Understandably, because it's a dumb stigma and stereotype. That should be the same reaction we have to anyone who doesn't want to watch something like this because they think their plot doesn't matter, they think the characters don't matter, and that it's literally just there to jerk off to cute girls doing cute things in a wholesome post. Fuck them. Okay, now that rant aside, let's go over my rating for this glorious piece of literature that happens to be in an anime form. It is a very strong and powerful 9.36 out of 10, one of the best anime I've had the pleasure to watch. I look forward to watching Love Live Sunshine at some point and seeing how the sequel does, so be ready for that whenever the video for Sunshine comes out. Probably 6 months. Let's just put a pin out there. Let's say 6 months, fuck it. Because I have to watch some other anime in the meantime. Ellie and Kotori are true queens and best girls of the show, by far for me, personally. Though most of Muse is full of queens, honestly. A lot of very, very high quality girls in there. If you like this style of video, let me know. I wouldn't mind doing more of these styles of videos and suggestions for what to do in this kind of format. If you want to leave a comment down below, go ahead and tell me why my opinions are trash, why my best girls are trash, and list your favorite Muse girl or song, and we can have a chat if you want. If you like my opinions, I have a ton of them on the channel and I highly recommend them if you're new. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate everyone that does that. Patreon is where you can watch me reacting to anime and support me directly if you are so inclined to do so or have some extra money laying around. I'm extremely honest with my opinions. I don't mind pissing off some people if it means I get to say what my truth is. So I know I'll probably get a couple dislikes, probably from like the 8 people that like Hanayo and Rin. Thank you all so much for watching this video to this point. You're a real one if you have, and I hope you have a great day. You specifically.